Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rockstar Expressions. This is going to be a real quick video. I just wanted to talk about a movie that I just saw, which is Kubo and the Two Strings. Um, the studio that made Coraline, that made Paranorman, that made the Box Trolls, also did this film. And if you've seen any of those, you know that the animation style is weird. It's really, really cool, but it's weird. And I think that was kind of turning me off to some of the original films. But the story about this one pulled me in. And once I saw it, blown away by the animation. The animation is incredible. And I highly, highly recommend this movie. But it's not the thing that I wanted to talk about. I thought what was really great about this movie, and you see this a lot, is um, a lot of times characters that are important that die will come back. And spoiler alert, that doesn't happen in this movie. That being said, I think it's a really, really wonderful story. And the whole basis of the movie is the idea of telling stories and then having those stories be the memory that keeps the people that you love alive. And for those of you that don't know, I lost a brother not too long ago. And I've been racking my brain trying to remember stories about him that would best illustrate what kind of person he was and what he meant to so many people. And I think the best one is, I remember he was a wrestling coach at George Washington High School in San Francisco. And when you're a high school kid, you don't really think about what kind of money people make, or if they can sustain themselves with the jobs that they're doing. You're just happy that they do it. And he had so many great kids go through that wrestling room. And one day they asked him and Coach Mike, how much do you guys make? He's like, well, we don't really make a lot of money, and most of that money goes right back into the program. And the kids were kind of stunned. They're like, what? Like, how can you do that? And they both looked at each other and they said, well, you kids are what's important. It's your growth and helping you become strong men, fine men, upstanding men. That's what's important. And so, they said they would do it for free. And that's the kind of guy that he was. I mean, so selfless and giving and caring and kind. And the world is less because he's not here. And I miss him every single day. And I was watching Kubo, and I was wearing his jacket. You've probably seen me wear this sometimes. And, I couldn't help it, because right at the end of the movie, he talks about how the stories are what's keeping them alive. And, I held the jacket and wrapped it around me, and just all these memories of him flooded back to me. Us as kids playing Street Fighter and playing wrestling games, and wrestling with each other. And we were always going to the same schools. And the guy taught me so much. He was always defending me as a kid. And I remember when I got a little older, and we would play card games together. We'd play poker or blackjack and Magic the Gathering together. And even just simple board games like Monopoly and stuff like that. We were always playing games with each other. We were always having fun with each other. And, it was frustrating at times to lose at Street Fighter to him, but, he made me better. He trained me, whether he knows it or not. but he was always encouraging, and he was always thinking about my best interests. And then when I got into high school, and everybody loved him. I mean, he was the most popular guy in school probably, and he just included me in anything he did. It was so great because I was really socially awkward leading up to high school, and it really wasn't until he introduced me to all his friends and invited me out to these things, and and always treated me as an equal, and he treated everyone as an equal. And I think that was one of his best qualities, is he never made anybody feel below him. He did a ton of work with the mentally handicapped and integrating them back into society, and it was incredible, and he was so good at it, and all of them loved him because, like I said, he was everybody's friend. Everybody was his equal, and he never made anybody feel worse for just being who they were, and he never excluded anybody. And I really take that to heart, and hopefully that comes out wherever you see me too, because I really want to live as an example of him. I love him so much, and I hope that these stories keep him alive. And I miss him. I miss him a lot. Let's always remember the good man that he was. And remember that everyone should be treated as equals, because I think that is his main legacy. And just be open and be caring and be loving, and don't exclude people because they look different or they act different, or maybe they're not as smart, or maybe they're different from you. It doesn't matter. We all have something good to give. And the thing I think that stands out the most about Sean is he always saw the good in people, and he told them the good things he saw, and he just kind of took it for granted. That was the crazy part, is he would tell people these things, and they were like, I didn't even know that about myself. And Sean was like, I've always seen that, man. I've always known that about you. And it blew people's minds because he just saw the good in everyone. And so I really hope that you all see the good in everyone, and that you take these lessons to heart, and that if you knew him, that you continue to share his stories and his memories, because he's here. He's always with me.